Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. We've got breaking news out of Kinston, where 3 people are now again facing drug charges along with juvenile. Now, police stopped a car around 1:45 p.m. yesterday on the 4000 block of Highway 70 West for multiple violations. 4 people were in the car when officers made the stop, including a 13-year-old. 60-year-old Danny Jones, 37-year-old Amanda Prezer, and 39-year-old Andrew Newton were arrested after a search revealed multiple pieces of drug paraphernalia throughout the car and more than 35 grams of fentanyl on the teenager's person. Police and K9 Milo searched the car after seeing signs of narcotics activity. Police say a further investigation found that the teen was given the drugs to hide while the traffic stop was happening. Everyone in the car was taken into custody, and the 3 adults were all charged with the following: deliver controlled substance to a juvenile under 13, 2 counts of level 3 trafficking, opium or heroin, misdemeanor child abuse. Now, the teen was placed in the care of a family member. Prezer was given a $600,000 bond. Jones and Newton were not given bond. And now we want to turn our attention to the ongoing trial over P. Diddy, as the defense arrested its case after calling no witnesses to the stand, spending about 30 minutes before it closed. NBC's Chloe Mellis has more on the latest.
After nearly 7 weeks, the conclusion of the high-profile criminal trial of Sean Diddy Combs is expected to begin this morning. The judge granting both prosecutors and Combs' defense team 4 hours today and Friday to make their closing arguments, their last chance to speak to jurors before they deliberate.
This is the opportunity for the prosecution to show why the evidence is relevant, why it matters. And for the defense, there are time to say this is why it doesn't prove what they need to prove.
The trial captivating the country. Some spectators now predicting the verdict online.
I think he might be coming home.
He will be found guilty.
It all began in 2023 when Combs' former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, filed an explosive civil lawsuit accusing him of years of physical and emotional abuse, setting off a media firestorm, which only intensified when this disturbing security video, first published by CNN, showed Combs brutally beating Ventura in a hotel hallway in 2016. Combs issued this since-deleted apology video on Instagram.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Last September, Combs was arrested at a Manhattan hotel and charged with transportation to engage in prostitution, sex trafficking, and racketeering. Combs, who was denied all of the charges, faces up to life behind bars. The trial began in May, with 34 witnesses ranging from alleged victims and escorts to law enforcement agents and Combs' former assistants. Despite Combs' lawyers saying that they needed as much as a week for their case, they didn't call any witnesses, arguing their case for less than 30 minutes, with Combs choosing not to testify in his own defense. Some of the most shocking testimony coming from Ventura and another former girlfriend, both claiming Combs abused them and forced them to participate in drug-fueled sex parties known as freak-offs. Now Combs' future lies in the hands of the jury.
And again, that was Chloe Mellis reporting. We now want to turn to your weather forecast. Today is yet again another First Alert weather day because of the heat present. The good news is heat isn't going to be quite as intense as what we've seen over the past 2 days, really 3 days. All 3 days, again, we've seen either a heat advisory or an extreme heat warning the past 2 days. Your Tuesday and Wednesday, we did have an extensive extreme heat warnings across all of eastern North Carolina. Today, it is a heat advisory, a little bit of a reduced risk, but still very much present for those of you who may be heat sensitive or may know people who are heat sensitive. Let's take a look at what we've got outside right now. In Morehead City, 84 degrees, feels like 91. Southerly wind at about 8 miles an hour. Great day to be out on the water and trying to enjoy some of that cooler air while it's present. Inland areas right now starting to see a little bit of separation from the coastal air temperatures. More of the upper 80s starting to show up again across Swan Quarter, New Bern, Kinston, Greenville, Windsor, all coming in at 88 degrees. We've got 87 right now in Washington as well as Elizabeth City and Manio, 91 currently in Stumpy Point, but it feels obviously hotter as humidity is still playing a big role in just in your feels like temperature outside. Right now feels like we're at the triple-digit mark through Greenville, Oriental, Stumpy Point, as well as Edenton, with again several areas close to that mark. Now again, we are certainly cooler than where we were yesterday, which is great news, fantastic news. But even then, even with that temperature drop, we are still again looking at heat advisory criteria today because of the heat. So even with the temperature drop, we're still too hot. It's essentially what the National Weather Service is showing us today. All of eastern North Carolina, again, under that heat advisory. Pender County, you guys not included, but everybody else certainly is. It's just one of those stretches where we've got extreme heat. Now, again, it's going to be a little bit more subdued than what we've seen over the past 48 hours. But average, just to put it into perspective, normally we see 87 to around 90 degrees for your daytime highs. Overnight lows in the low 70s. We've been consistently above that this week, and today we won't see that change. 95, 96 degrees for your high coming up this afternoon under again mostly sunny skies. There is a chance we may see a few, maybe even less than a few, maybe a couple isolated pop-up thunderstorms coming up later on today, but those chances right now 10 to 20%. Coverage is going to be minimal. We are not looking at widespread rain at all. Let's fast forward this model. Here's 2 o'clock, not much there, and there's one little pop-up shower and storm kind of making its way over Pamlico County and then into Craven County. This is a picture by the time it gets around 5 p.m. And again, it's just one of those days where I know we would hope for more rain showers and hope for more thunderstorms, but just not going to happen. Similar story coming up on Friday, mostly sunny through the first half of the day, then a few isolated pop-up storms in the afternoon. We might see a little bit more thunderstorm activity coming in tomorrow, but kind of splitting hairs there. Each day, about a 20% chance of rain. And when we zoom the picture out, the cold front further back towards the west is still further back towards the west. Hasn't made a whole lot of forward movement progress. Still draped across New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, extending into South Dakota, Minnesota, and even Wisconsin. Now, eventually, that cold front will reach us. And once it does, we're going to be back to normal. We're going to just be back to normal. We're not going to, again, see air temperatures drop down too far. But even seeing the 80s on your screen, hopefully, again, gives you some hope that we won't have to just sweat it out for the entirety of the summer months. Now, again, the 90s will stick with us at least through Tuesday of next week. With overnight lows holding in the low to mid 70s, it means that, well, we are likely going to be maintaining that very humid air across the region through the next 5 to 6 days. That's all we have time for today's 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday. Or, no, it's Thursday. Have a better Thursday, and hope you had a wonderful Wednesday.